See Dorit Kemsley make a shocking discovery on PK. On The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 14, Episode 14, Kyle Richards revealed that she removed the word wife from her Instagram bio after seeing a photo of her estranged husband, Mauricio Umansky, embracing another woman. This, in turn, made fellow estranged wife Dorit Kemsley question if she had done the same on her own social media page. "It makes me think, do I have wife on my Instagram?" Dorit wondered while sitting next to castmate Bozoma St. John on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show. "I don't know, I'm curious." Dorit then went over to the backstage area to retrieve her phone. Upon further inspection, she realized that her bio did not say anything about being a wife to Paul PK Kemsley. "Oh shoot, maybe I did. It just says Mama to Jagger and Phoenix, Kemsley, damn." "Ooh, it doesn't say wife to PK?" Bozoma wondered. "Did it ever?" Dorit wondered aloud. "I don't know, but if I would have taken it off." "You'd have had to make a decision to take it off," Boz pointed out. "Exactly," Dorit responded. "Let me see if PK has husband." After pulling up PK's Instagram page, Dorit made a stunning revelation. "Wow, that's it. It just says PK. That's literally it," she said. "Nothing, it literally just says PK." "Now that is a lesson within itself," Boz warned. "That man is about himself." Where do Dorit Kemsley and PK stand today? Since announcing their separation in May 2024, Dorit and PK have struggled to get on the same page, except when it comes to their kids. "I feel that I have come a long way since the beginning of the separation," Dorit said on an earlier episode of the rhobh after show. "I feel like things are getting clearer and clearer and clearer. We're kind of going through things, finding our feet in how to navigate a separation publicly, raising and co-parenting our children. So we haven't gone into that place where we're actually doing the work, and I don't know if we ever will." As viewers have seen on rhobh Season 14, Dorit and PK went from talking, like 5 times a day, to barely speaking to one another following a tense therapy session. Would Dorit get back together with PK Kemsley? Though the estranged spouses are still not on the best of terms, Dorit remains open to the possibility of reconciling in the future. "I don't feel like I've reached a place where I know PK is not in my future," she said. At the same time, if he turned around to me tomorrow and said, "Dorit, I made a terrible mistake. I want to come back home. Let's have a go at this. We belong together, blah, 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 blah." I don't think I could accept that. I'm gonna go a step further. I know I couldn't. The shocking discovery: Dorit Kemsley and PK's hidden realities. The lavish world of Beverly Hills was known for its glitz, glamour, and larger-than-life personalities. But for Dorit Kemsley, one moment in the spotlight would forever alter her view of her life, her marriage, and her identity. The 14th season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was already filled with drama, heartache, and unexpected revelations. But nothing prepared Dorit for the shocking discovery she was about to make, one that would forever change the narrative of her relationship with her estranged husband, Paul PK Kemsley. It all began innocently enough with a conversation among the women. Kyle Richards had just shared an emotional moment with her co-stars, confessing that after seeing a photo of her estranged husband, Mauricio Umansky, embracing another woman, she had removed the word wife from her Instagram bio. The realization hit her like a ton of bricks. The public display of affection between Mauricio and someone else had forced her to question her own identity. It wasn't just about the photo. It was about what it represented, the end of something she had always defined herself by. As Kyle spoke with raw emotion, Dorit, sitting beside her close friend Bozoma St. John, couldn't help but be drawn into the conversation. Her mind began racing as she wondered, had she done the same? The words hung in the air. "It makes me think, do I have wife on my Instagram?" Dorit wondered aloud, her voice tinged with both curiosity and uncertainty. She glanced at Bozoma, seeking validation, but also struggling with the truth she might soon uncover. Bozoma, ever the perceptive friend, offered her insight. "Why don't you check? It's easy to find out." Without another word, Dorit rose from her seat and made her way to the backstage area. Her heels clicked against the polished floor as she reached for her phone, her mind still spinning from Kyle's confession. She opened her Instagram app, her fingers trembling slightly as she navigated to her profile. Her heart pounded in her chest as she scrolled through the page that had, for years, been a carefully curated snapshot of her life. Dorit's eyes scanned the bio area. At first, she felt a slight sense of relief. Mama to Jagger and Phoenix. Those were the words that greeted her. She paused, her eyes narrowing. "Oh, shoot, maybe I did. It just says Mama to Jagger and Phoenix. Damn." Bozoma's voice cut through her thoughts. "Ooh, it doesn't say wife to PK?" Dorit's eyebrows knitted together in confusion. "Did it ever?" she asked aloud, her voice growing quieter, as though she were trying to piece together a puzzle she hadn't realized existed. Her mind raced back through the years, through every post, every carefully crafted moment that had been shared with her millions of followers. She had always been so careful, so deliberate in her presentation. And yet in this single moment, she was unsure of something so fundamental. The very words that had defined her relationship with PK for so long. She turned to Bozoma, her voice barely above a whisper. "But if I would have taken it off..." "You'd have had to make a decision to take it off," Bozoma pointed out, her tone sharp yet understanding. Dorit nodded slowly as the weight of the moment settled on her. "Exactly," she murmured. In a final, almost desperate bid to make sense of it all, Dorit pulled up PK's Instagram. Maybe she would find some clarity. Maybe she would see the word husband, or some indication that he still saw himself as a partner in their marriage. She was not prepared for what she found. PK's bio was as stripped down as it could possibly be. PK. That was it. No mention of his family, no acknowledgement of his role as a father, and certainly no recognition of his relationship with Dorit. Dorit's breath caught in her throat as she stared at the screen in disbelief. "Wow, that's it. It just says PK. That's literally it," she muttered to herself. Her voice was soft, almost incredulous. "Nothing. It literally just says PK." Bozoma, ever the realist, didn't sugarcoat her response. Now, that is a lesson within itself. That man is about himself. The words struck Dorit like a cold wave. She felt the sting of truth, the realization that PK, in his own way, had long been focused on his personal brand, his image, and his life outside of their shared world. The moment felt like a wake-up call, one that forced Dorit to question not just her marriage, but also the entire foundation of her identity in relation to PK. Navigating the fallout, Dorit and PK's strained relationship. Dorit Kemsley had always been a woman who wore her heart on her sleeve. From her larger-than-life personality to her dedication to her family, Dorit had always given her all to her marriage and her children. But as the seasons of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills unfolded, the cracks in her relationship with PK became more and more evident. Their public struggles were on full display for all to see, but nothing could have prepared Dorit for the emotional toll it would take on her. Since announcing their separation in May 2024, Dorit and PK had been living in a state of tension. They were not the couple they had once been, and though they had shared moments of tenderness, they were also caught in an ongoing struggle to redefine their relationship, especially in the face of their children. Dorit's thoughts on the separation were a mixture of acceptance and uncertainty. "I feel that I have come a long way since the beginning of the separation," Dorit confided in an earlier episode of the RHOBH After Show. "I feel like things are getting clearer and clearer and clearer. We're kind of going through things, finding our feet in how to navigate a separation publicly, raising and co-parenting our children." Her voice was steady, but there was a vulnerability beneath the surface. The journey of co-parenting their two young children, Jagger and Phoenix, was something that both Dorit and PK were committed to. But despite their best efforts to put on a united front for the sake of their kids, the reality was that their emotional connection had fractured. Dorit acknowledged that while she and PK had tried therapy, the work was still far from being done. "So we haven't gone into that place where we're actually doing the work, and I don't know if we ever will," Dorit admitted. There was a profound sadness in her words, a recognition that perhaps the love they once shared had faded beyond repair.